They've been called bomb trains, more than 100 car freight trains carrying crude oil, traveling across the Balkan oil fields in North Dakota, shipped to gas refineries right here in Philadelphia. Emergency response experts describe Bakken crude as a highly flammable, volatile, and unstable form of petroleum. There's no way for emergency responders to be prepared if the worst-case scenario were to happen here in Philadelphia.
Everybody should be extremely worried. In fact, there is no effective emergency response to a crude oil derailment.
In Screwed news, we've now learned that nearly 3 million gallons of toxic brine leaked out of a pipeline in western North Dakota earlier this month. It's the largest spill of its kind since North Dakota's oil boom began. Brine is a salty and toxic byproduct of natural gas and oil production that can contain cancer-causing benzene and other chemicals from the fracking process. So how many more of these kind of spills have to happen before we ban the dangerous fracking practice once and for all?
Massive explosion that stunned and horrified people living in Rankin County this morning.
Panic on the reservoir after a gas line explosion.
A 30-foot Gulf South natural gas pipeline had ruptured and exploded, scorching at least an acre of wooded land off Three-Prong Trail.
Again, this is on the northeast end of the reservoir. The explosion occurred about 6:20 a.m. this morning.
The house started shaking.
It looked like the sun had just rose completely.
Difficult mission unfolding tonight on the Yellowstone River, a large oil spill that has dumped toxic chemicals into the water.
The town draws its water from the Yellowstone River. Locals say they could smell, even taste oil in their drinking water. The 12-inch pipe, owned by Bridger Pipeline, ruptured beneath the river.
Frankly, I don't expect we'll get much oil out of the river.
With benzene, a cancer-causing chemical detected in the water at 3 times greater than federal standards allow, bottled water is being trucked in. Sheens of oil have been spotted 40 miles downstream.
State of emergency declared in West Virginia.
It seems surreal on a snowy afternoon, towering flames exploding into the West Virginia sky.
They've evacuated hundreds of people so far, everybody within a half-mile of the derailment and the subsequent explosion. These local towns around here drink from that river, and tonight they've shut down their water intakes in an effort not to send that crude oil and any other toxins from the spill into people's showers and kitchen faucets.
He had ran out of the house, and then right after he got out of the house went in flames, exploded. The train exploded.
And we're following more breaking news. This is a live picture from where you can see Philadelphia Energy Solutions refining complex. You can see the black smoke there coming from that building. And here's what's happening, because we've gotten a lot of calls about this. People are concerned, of course. The plant says it's a flare-up and the situation is under control, but you can see that black smoke can be seen for miles, so naturally people are concerned. They call, they wonder what's going on.
A freight train carrying crude oil burned into the night after 8 of its 105 cars derailed near the town of Galena in northern Illinois. At least 6 homes were evacuated after residents within 1 mile of the site were encouraged to leave. Officials say the incident occurred on a major rail line along the Mississippi River. It handles as many as 50 oil trains a week. It's the 3rd derailment in 3 weeks involving trains hauling crude oil.
The earthquake increase is unprecedented in Oklahoma.
Farmers and landowners can just dig a hole and charge people to unload their frack trucks here, the dirty water that they've used to frack.
I thought the dirty water gets pumped underground.
In the injection wells, they do, but this is another way of disposing of frack water.
You just come out here, dig a hole, charge people to back in and unload.
He's worried about more than the earthquakes and fears that reckless dumping of chemical-laced wastewater into these pits will contaminate the groundwater.
A town in central North Dakota has been evacuated because of an oil train derailment. The train seen here caught fire soon after.
We know that there are fire and hazmat crews from all over North Dakota heading to this scene.
On Thursday, the Santa Barbara Independent revealed the ruptured pipeline operated by Plains All American is the only pipeline in the county that's not required to be equipped with an automatic shutdown valve in case of a leak because it operates outside the regulatory oversight of the county.
Flames and a big column of smoke shooting into the sky.
This is in Hammond in far western Oklahoma, and the blast there has people on alert.
Just moments before, fire crews were spraying down the tank with water, trying to cool it down and keep it from exploding. But their efforts were just no match for the heated pressure.
I really thought somebody had driven their car into our house. That's how loud it was.
Her home is about 300 yards away. Her windows shook, and when she looked outside,
it was just engulfed in flames.
The first tank bin finally ruptured, burst in to split the side. Now it's got that very last tank on fire.
In July of 2013, 47 people were killed when a train loaded with Bakken crude ran off the tracks, exploded, and burned down half a town in Quebec. There have also been crude oil explosions in North Dakota and another one in Virginia. Right here in Philadelphia, a CSX train carrying crude oil derailed right over the Schuylkill last January. There's no way for emergency responders to be prepared if the worst-case scenario were to happen here in Philadelphia.
Everybody should be extremely worried. In fact, there is no effective emergency response to a crude oil derailment.